Now the former Utah man, this is Devontae Booker. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
4 yards remaining now on 2nd down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Play action now. Rivers. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Rivers. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. On this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. Over the middle, Julian Edelman. It's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Second down carry for Booker. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. And now the starting defense for the Browns.
Darrelle Revis is on the short list of the best corners who ever played in the NFL. Revis Island is where wide receivers go to hide.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Booker on first down. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining.
2nd down, 9 yards to go. And the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. 2nd down, Rivers. Left side. By Matthews. It inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Booker running left. They juked him. He won't go down. And he's going to be bounds down inside the 20. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run it now out of the gun. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear.
On 3rd and 1, here's Rivers. This will be caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Their big tight end. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills have taken the early lead. In a game of this magnitude, it's always good to get out to a great start. But a game of this magnitude, you go up early, that's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. Psychologically, you now have the advantage as well as on the scoreboard. And also, it's a settling effect for your team. You're in it now. You've got the lead. Let's just go play some more ball.
Prescott on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Corey Legion in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to him back.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He's going to look deep now for Landry. And got his man complete. And that one results in 35 yards. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there going to the air for the 1st down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So they put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it.
And now a 1st down following that long gain. Play clock winding down. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. A host of Bills there that time to make the stop. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Here's the option going right. Now they'll pitch it out here. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing, Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Now look at this. 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. Now Prescott on 4th down. And this is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Bills are going to get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
The 1st down throw, and he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Randy Gregory in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Defense maybe trying to guess the snap count there, and it costs them 5 yards. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, here we go. Come on, 1380. Check. Watch.
Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And it's a fumble. And this will get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. So fortunately, they're able to hold on to the possession.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain.
And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
Pulled in at the 24. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer, and put your defense in a bad spot.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Rivers now on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Riley Dixon now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that...
That's caught at the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So they're operating in the red zone. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Prescott looks to throw on first. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
On play action, Prescott. They'll roll him out right. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. The tight end, Gary Barnage, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Prescott yet again. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
They come out here in the eye. 2nd down, Prescott. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Thought he may have gotten away with one there, but the ref caught him, and it's holding. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball, and then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure to just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
To throw is Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Here's Prescott, and he comes back with 1 complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
It would have been a long field goal attempt, so when you only need a few inches, this, to me, is the right decision. And they wind up picking up the conversion on 4th down.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Prescott to throw this time. Complete here to Gary Barnidge. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And Barnidge has it on the right side. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Got to give a lot of credit to the defensive front there. They held their ground, pretty much stoned them on that play, and ended up creating a lost yardage play.
Yeah, drop them from the 1 back to the 2. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back now in Buffalo. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. 2nd down, the ball on the 2 here, 2nd and goal. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. They've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal? The play clock's running down. Throwing, Prescott. And this will be caught by Barnidge for a Cleveland touchdown. Gary Barnidge there to make the grab. And the Browns have taken the lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted.
The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field.
17, guys. Check him out.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Randy Gregory in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Second down, Rivers. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
That's taken on the 25. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Corey Liggett makes the stop. Time for a break. Back to wrap up the AFC Championship game after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll come out in the pistol. Here's the, oh no, he lost the football. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So a fumble on 2nd down. They're able to maintain possession. Brings up 3rd. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Prescott, he's going to loft one. Deep left side here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Browns defensive unit trots back out. And they have been so strong all game long. They just need to show up here one final time, Charles.
And this isn't a spot where they're going to run out onto the field and look at each other and say, okay, can hold on. They've been strong all game, as you talked about.
Yeah, you got some confidence.
Confidence. They're thinking, let's just go out there and shut them down 1, 2, 3 and get out of here. That's how they feel right now.
He's back to throw, and he's got his man on the out route. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd down now after the pass completion. Back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And quickly, they get to the line. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 11 yards on the pickup, and it's 1st down, Buffalo. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Back to throw. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of two. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Rivers to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. On the return, here's a speedy Jamison Crowder. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks. And
this is going to be intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window.
And now out come the Bills. They're on the outskirts of field goal range here in a tie game with a little time. So how do you handle this? What do you do here, Charles?
Everybody wants to pick up as much yardage as possible. But the weird part is for field goal kickers, being in real...
Devontae Booker. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. After the touchdown, Barth now to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Browns offense back out there ready to take over. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat-and-mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. Now Prescott. Now a and that's caught inside the 35. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Here's Prescott. Caught left side. It's Barnage. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 14 there. And the Browns are going to have a first down. Prescott crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
Shift together here from the D-line. The Bills on their way to victory now as they take the knee. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes...